Tech news that caught our eye today. Sarah has the stories.
I do. First story, a new internet security flaw has been found. It's a big one, and for once you can't blame it on Microsoft.
Yay!
The design flaw is inherent in TCP, the protocol that computers use, of course, to communicate over the internet. If someone exploits the hole, it could disrupt traffic across the internet, cause chaos and wreak havoc everywhere.
Sounds scary. Actually, the cool thing, though, we are a little scared, and we actually have, the exploit was identified by Paul Watson, who is an internet security researcher with the Open Source Vulnerability Database Project, and we have him on the phone right now. Hey, Paul.
Hello, Kevin and Patrick. How are you today?
Good.
Now, should we talk about whether there are patches for this first, or if the internet's going to stop?
We might be good.
There's been some reactive news reports about this.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing I should say is, no, the internet's not dead. It's not burning down. It's going to be there tomorrow, and everything's fine.
Yay!
Thousands of researchers around the world, or internet engineers, have really rolled out all the patches and all the fixes, so everything's secure. There's really no risk at this point, so everyone can kick back, relax, and browse their favorite websites.
So tell us what the problem was for the people that don't know at home. What happened, and how did you discover this?
I attended a conference in Las Vegas last year where all the hackers go to called Black Hat, and I listened to a really great presentation from Cisco, a couple of their security researchers looking at vulnerabilities in the internet. And while the entire paper was excellent, there was one issue that I kind of took concern with. I went back and did a lot of additional research on my own and kind of came up with completely different results. And
Was it a theoretical paper versus actual real-world experience kind of a situation?
Well, that was it. It was one of those issues that a lot of people knew about, and everybody just assumed it was possible but impractical, so nobody really looked at it very hard. And so I kind of, stood on the shoulders of a lot of giants that came before me and did a lot of great research in this area, like Steve Bellovin at AT&T, and kind of built on their research and came up with some new findings. And once I published it, it seemed to kind of scare everybody a little bit.
So I'm going to say this is about as much as I understand. You're essentially talking about breaking sessions in basically the IP4 spec, and that allows people to break ongoing transactions between browsers or pretty much anything else talking to a server over the internet. Is that essentially what's happening?
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, the piece where you can break a connection with a web browser is still going to be there. The big concern for everybody was breaking the communication between all the routers on the internet that route the traffic around the globe. It's kind of like the internet highway system if all the bridges were to disappear overnight.
That would be bad. Yeah, that would be a bad thing. So it's fixed now, though. You're saying that the patches are out there. There's administrators working on this right now on the router level. Is that where the patches have to take place?
Yes, they've been working on this for the past week around the globe. It's really been the most coordinated effort ever seen, really, for all these engineers at all these different ISPs around the globe to kind of get together. And, nobody could really do it on their own. Everybody had to work together to get the patches rolled out. Wow. And they did it all under the cloak of darkness and secrecy, and, it kind of snuck out a little bit earlier. We weren't supposed to know about it till tomorrow.
Is there any chance that there's some people sort of asleep in dark corners of the world, not knowing that they're supposed to be upgrading their routers right now? Or should we tell anybody out there as a sysadmin is make sure your routers have been patched?
I just advise everyone to at least be aware of what's going on and then make an educated judgment. If you think it's a problem for you, probably fix it. And if you don't think it's a concern, don't bother with it. Everyone has to judge their risk according to their own level of threshold of pain.
Makes sense. It sounds like the general thing to do, though, would be to upgrade.
I know. When I first heard this story, I thought for sure it was going to be a Microsoft thing, but I guess not. The one time they slipped by.
Well, I can't give them complete credit there. They're actually just as vulnerable, if not more so, than everybody else. But this is really an everybody problem. Right. This isn't Microsoft's problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, if all the routers that connect all of the servers that make up the internet stop talking, that's a little more worrisome than my browser not being able to log into a banking site.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Hey, it was quite a pleasure there, Kevin and Patrick, and I really enjoy your show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got their patches installed. Good thing.
Definitely. And you know what? Upgrade your routers if you haven't.
Yes.
It's better that way.
Sarah has another story for us.
I love that picture of Paul Watson. He's like, no, Seuss, I'm just going to take a picture from the beach. All tan and everything.
That's awesome.
I've got an IQ of 190.
I better get into internet security. It looks fun. Anyway, moving on. No more amnesty program.